So who's the streamer that you look exactly alike? We've never talked about this, but people started commenting it, and I was like, "What?" And then I looked it up, and I was like, "Wow, like you look more exactly like this person than anybody I know who looks like somebody else."
Mr. Beast, maybe? I don't know.
No,
Jacksepticeye?
no, it's a different one of this person. Yeah, this guy right here, right there. You,
Don't fucking compare me to Asmongold. What is wrong with you?
Asmon Gold. What's his name?
Asmongold. Do not compare me to him. What
So
is
I don't know
I
anything. I don't know anything
am
about him,
very
but
upset with that.
you look so much like him.
You fucking cut that out. No, that is like Dollar Tree Moist Critical. Get that shit out of here. Do not compare me to him.
You look so much like him. I don't know anything about like his
Dude,
style, his sense of humor. Maybe he's a piece of garbage.
no,
I'm,
dude, he took a drink of water and then like gagged and washed it down with Coke. That's all you need to know.
that's what he's known for.
There's plenty more, but that alone should tell you he is. I don't know. I can't give you the Asmongold lore right now. I think it's a little too deep. That might you might need like a whole game theory episode for
Well,
that.
damn, those iceberg things. Do you ever watch iceberg videos on YouTube?
Sometimes I watch like MMA ones for the most part because I'm brain dead.
I've only ever watched like one, and I can't even remember what it was about. But they have icebergs for like every video game that exists, but they do it for like science too, like paleontology, like the. Have you ever heard of the Silurian hypothesis before?
I don't think so.
It's the idea that maybe there was an advanced civilization during the Silurian period, which is like hundreds of millions of years ago. And there could have been like, they wouldn't have been humans, but there was some form of life that was like super intelligent. So there's icebergs for all that crap.
Yeah, I don't think I've seen anything about that in specific, but I don't know. I've definitely seen like the video game ones, and some of them are so ridiculous because it goes into just shit people made up, and they're like, "Yeah, sounds good to
Yeah,
me."
what if, man? What if? So speaking of this, um I have my own personal like fringe theory. I probably have a bunch of them, but there's only one that I can remember off the top of my head. I have talked about it before, but I don't know how many people have actually heard me talk about it. So, I think that a lot of the dreams we have, our brain invents them after we wake up. But we think that it happened in the past, but it didn't really. Now here's why I say this. Do you ever have dreams that like go right up until the moment you wake up, but they're only like a few seconds long?
Yeah,
So I think those are fake memory. I think those are fake dreams, like false memories that our brains make up because I get them a lot. And almost all of them have one thing in common. There's either a really loud bang, or there's a bell that goes off, or or something that coincides exactly with my alarm going off. And it's happened so many times that I've just convinced myself at this point, these are not coincidences. I just, and because they're only a couple of seconds long, my brain is just inventing this memory after I wake up to like explain how I woke up or something like that. That's my fringe theory. I don't know if there's any research on it, but we know that false memories can be made and even implanted. And so that's what I think is happening with a lot of dreams.
so you think that it's all just a big coinkydink?
Yeah. Coink,
I don't
maybe.
know that.
Dink, maybe not.
Well, I don't know because my girlfriend always tells me that while I'm sleeping, I'll just start speaking random nonsense. And sometimes I remember that, and I'll be like, "Oh yeah, I know what you're talking about." So maybe some dreams, but I don't know. Like if you're specifically talking about the ones that just wake you up, that could be the case. It might just be you trying to reason to yourself why you got woken up so abruptly.
I honestly think that that's what it is. That is my like, I don't know. That's my fringe theory that I think isn't a dumb idea that I have. I remember one time this is a long time ago. This is probably like 20 years ago ish, but I was sleeping on the couch and Boy Meets World was on the TV and I was definitely asleep, but the dialogue of the episode, like I was dreaming that the episode was happening, but it was like really weird because like my eyes were closed, duh, but the characters were doing stuff and they were using the dialogue from the episode, but like the scenery and everything was all weird. So that was really interesting. It was like my brain was awake and listening, but I was asleep. And so it was like it was transporting to the dream dimension where vampires and werewolves and shapeshifters. Dude, did you watch any of that video of those fucking lunatic Christians I found talking about werewolves and shapeshifting?
I didn't, but that did remind me of the text you sent me the other day when I told you I'm not going to be working the night shift, and you're like, oh, so you don't have to be a vampire anymore?
Yeah.
And I made some comment about you not having to fight for my love against like a werewolf or some shit. No, I don't know.
Dude, they're so fucking... I'm going to look her up. We'll play a little bit of it here. I can't believe how fucking insane this lady is. Let's just find...
Oh, I've definitely heard the name before. I think
Really? Because I never
what was it? Like I think I saw Dan McClellan make a video responding to some clip that was posted about this lady.
Really? That would be pretty funny.
I think so. I might be mistaken, but the name seems really familiar.
I mean, it's always possible. I want to find something where they're talking about crazy shit. Fighting against warlocks and witches. Okay, this can't...
What the hell?
There's no way that this is not a gold mine. A gold mine, not a gold mine. All right, let's check it out.
It might be a mega mind.
Yeah. Holy shit. I need a fancy countdown timer for my podcast. No, we just get started and we still have no idea what we're doing.
Dude, you could make it like a video of you getting like oiled up or something.
Ugh.
Katie, I'm Katie Souza, and today's show is a special edition of an interview I did with Jenny Donnelly and Shauna Danberg on their show, Don't Mess With Our Kids. It's all about having me have an encounter with witchcraft, with a sorcerer and witches,
with witchcraft and witches. She just,
an astral projection. Oh my God, this is word vomit.
Projecting into my house to try to stop the assignment that Jenny Donnelly was coming to Florida to do with an event that I was one of the speakers at.
She in the video I did, she does this. She said, I've been on special assignment to kill a werewolf for like several years. I don't care. I don't care who hears me say it. It's true.
What? What? You're doing like an RFK Jr. impression right now.
Yeah, it's like, dude, there's a guy on TikTok who does RFK videos. Have I sent you any of them? Where
I think I know what you're talking about.
They're so fucking funny. When Trump said that they're eating the cats and the dogs, this guy made because RFK ate that, or was gonna eat that roadkill bear or whatever, and he's made so many videos where he's like, "Hey RFK, what are you up to this weekend?" I'm going to Springfield, Ohio. There's a special kind of dish that you can only get this time of year. And it's so fucking funny. But anyways, we're not doing that right now. We're doing Katie Souza. Well, we're not doing Katie Souza, but we're...
Yeah, please, let's not.
We're going to unpack what happened in that encounter. We're going to talk about what you can do when you face similar circumstances. It's going to be an amazing show. Before we get into it, first, let's watch today's Selfie Miracle testimony video. Check it out.
Oh, no.
What happened?
Oh, yeah.
I was diagnosed with breast cancer about 2 or 3 weeks ago, and with a pretty significant size mass. Which has been very uncomfortable and painful, actually, and throbbing. And I have been praying for probably about the last 6 or 7 days for the Lord to burn that cancer out. And I have to be very careful how I test that here, but I've been squishing myself every way that I can in public with that still be appropriate, and I can't feel a thing. So.
Damn.
You're not a doctor.
Fucking give her a round of applause. That clear to me.
There's just something so unpalatable about just getting up there and being like, I prayed and my cancer went away. Like, it's so, because people are going to hear that, and how many people choose not to get medical help because they think that that's going to work? I want to get to the
proven through the labs that
what is an astral projection supposed to be? I think these people just have lucid dreams, and they just think that
that's what I think.
Instead of dreaming, they think they're God's special soldier or something. But what the fuck is an astral projection supposed to be?
I mean, pretty much exactly how you explained it, because with the lucid dream, you know, you control everything in the dream. You control the location, where you go, all that shit. I think they just
out of body
figure out how to do that more consistently, and then they just say that it's that.
Category 4 cancer, breast cancer, totally gone. Totally gone.
Category. She at no point did she say she had stage 4 breast cancer. I didn't hear her say that anyways.
Yeah, no, she said she just had a lump of significant mass.
My new book, The Serpent and the Soul, Deliverance from Python, Leviathan, and Other Strangling Spirits. It's on pre-sale right now. In fact, it might even be ready to be released. You can go to Amazon and you can, right there, the link, boom. Get that link, put it up, the link comes down, get your copy. It's all about witchcraft, idols, serpents, and I'm telling you, they cause breast cancer, they cause prostate cancer, they cause uterine cancer, they cause cancers of every kind, lymphatic cancers, they cause problems with your spine, with your bones, with your joints. I've seen spines snap into place when I've taken serpents off of people's spines. I've seen cancer tumors shrink down, like within minutes upon praying, and even completely disappear.
Within minutes?
I've seen cancer shrink and disappear within minutes. This is so unethical.
Oh my God, we need to get this woman in fucking Congress. We need this woman in office.
I love that when you see a video of somebody who's like they might only be 40, but they've done 100 years worth of meth, you know, and they just look like it, and people are just commenting, "Get this person in Congress."
Dude. We need her, dude. I'm telling you, she's got that energy. We need more of that.
America needs this person. Oh my God! Speaking of, oh man, I gotta show you this person I found on TikTok. They have like 20 million likes on their account. I'm gonna let Katie do some talking while I search for this.
You need to get this book. We're going to put it full screen one more time. Bam, there it is. Get the link. Get your copy. Amazon sends it right to your house. Bam, so easy. This is going to change your life. Now, we're about to join an interview that I did with Jenny Donnelly on her show, Don't Mess With Our Kids. And I am going to be doing a spiritual warfare intensive at Jenny's place, September the 18th through the 21st. Throughout the broadcast, we will be putting up the links where you can go to register. Look, we're only
I don't know.
allowing 100 people to come to this event because it's going to be so intensive, so high level. We needed to keep the numbers down so we could make sure we could have personal ministry and ministry time.
She's a good salesman. All right, I want to get to where she's talking to somebody else. All right, check out these fucking pumpkin spice looking bitches. All right.
Hi, and welcome to Don't Mess With Our Kids podcast. My name is Jenny Donnelly, and I am here with Shauna Danberg. And guess what? We have a guest today who is going to blow your mind. I'm so excited about this. Let me tell you a little bit more about this podcast, and we're going to get right into our discussion today. Don't Mess With Our Kids. This is a grassroots movement that started in Peru, because there were people in 2016 that said the attack on the kids and the family had gone too far. And here we are in America, Shauna, with...
What are the odds that this is just transphobia? 100% or more than that?
That's immediately what I thought.
Yeah.
So I think I'm going to stick with you on the 100% here.
Okay, well, let's find out.
An attack on our children, on our families, and God is calling people to stand up now. Yes. In truth and in love. And in Peru, they were able to oust their prime minister, their education minister. George Soros pulled out all of their funding. Many people came to know Jesus because there were people who decided to stand up to this nonsense and say, we're not doing this anymore. Right. And when we heard what Peru was able to do in their nation, we decided here in America, we have to do this. And so it's very easy to engage with this movement. You're doing it right now by listening to this podcast. We are going to ask you to also share this podcast. And then
stop doing a commercial and tell us what you think. A little
bit in your bio. You were born a career, or sorry, you were not born a career criminal, but most of your life, you were a career criminal. This incredible woman that you are seeing here today, she served in prison almost 12 years. And the goods that God gave you during that time for spiritual warfare. I told her the other day, I said, Katie, my friend, you have some weaponry in the spirit that our team needs, that the body of Christ needs. Yeah. And you are so important for this hour because we've entered a battlefield that is no joke. This isn't casual Christianity. This isn't, I got my bumper sticker on my car, I'm a Christian, I go to Sunday church. We have hit a new terrain, as Shauna put it earlier, a new terrain that is requiring us to understand what is happening in a spiritual realm. And with
boring.
What are they talking about?
They're messing with our kids. What do you not understand about that? They're messing with our kids.
Thank you for being with us.
Would you start what more is there?
I don't know. I'm trying to figure it out.
Story. How come?
Now I don't want to hear about her going to jail.
This is so fascinating. I have a question for you.
Yes.
I can't remember which YouTube I was watching because I was watching you way before I knew you personally. I was just so inspired by your bravery and by what God was doing in your life. But there is one story I'm remembering when you were arrested. I believe it was the day you were arrested, you were taken into the hospital because you were burned, right, by the chemicals. Yeah. And so they took you. And can you tell the story about you kind of the Holy Spirit and you?
She was making meth and she got burned.
Just turning yourself in. Please tell the story. It's crazy.
Okay. Well, what had happened is I was doing a collection on a breaker club. Stupid. Okay. They owed me a bunch of money because I would get weapons and dope for them and other things I can't describe here on this broadcast.
What? But, who is this lady?
She's an OG. That's that same lady, Katie Souza. So like her thing is she went to jail and then she came to Christ and now she like does her ministry and her outreach, but she's fucking insane.
I did a collection on them and they weren't happy. So they agreed to meet with me to pay me, but it was a ruse. I was on a stolen motorcycle. They took the link off my motorcycle. So when I left, the chain snapped and wrapped around my back tire of my motorcycle. And I was in a really bad accident. I barely escaped. The police came looking for me with helicopters. I had to run and hide. It was terrible. But to get to the point, because of that accident, I was incapacitated. So I was a cook then too, and a collector. And I needed to cook some dope to make some money. So I was trying to find my chemicals.
Wait, dope? I thought dope was marijuana.
I don't know.
You don't cook dope.
Some people use different words for it. I can't find anything about this.
Oh no, it's heroin. Okay, I'm just an idiot. God, Beta doesn't even do drugs. Doesn't know what they're called.
Yeah, Beta doesn't do his heroin.
I'm injured really badly at the same time. I didn't go to the hospital because I'm running from the cops, with the stolen motorcycle, which they found. And so these guys came and offered to get me cams and everything else I needed and a place to cook. So when we went up there, I'm desperate now. I'm in a place where I found out when I got there had already been used by numerous other cooks and was full of batching trash. Batching trash is just, the chemicals, the waste, the containers, everything else. So there's cams and batching trash everywhere. So bad that my boots are melting on my feet.
Whoa.
And I'm becoming toxic. So then, because there had been so much activity,
I can't find anything about this story. I'm looking it up, and there is nothing other than her own website talking about how she's a career criminal, and it sounds like this is like a really practiced script. I don't know. It might be true, but I'm finding nothing. And
they're like, no, it'll be all right. It'll be all right. Just do it. And he said, get up and get dressed. Because
okay, I'm going to skip ahead, and if they're not talking about witches and warlocks, we got to move on to something new.
Well, it's great, but the problem is, I already went to trial. I was already sentenced on the chemicals.
Well, Jesus Christ, no, it's
or
literally
a situation that's so energized demonically that you begin to get weary underneath it and maybe even acquiesce to like, I'm so tired of that person, or getting bitter or upset or offended. And that's exactly what the attack was coordinated to do. It was brought upon you to bring a bitterness or an offense, so that an opening could be created for them, that spirit to come in, because they want to come against you because they see you're about to do something. You're about to go do her voice, don't mess with our kids an event. So prior to the event, the devil's very strategic. He will bring a conflict with you and another person or a situation to cause a wounded area to come. He'll just beat at that door until you finally go, oh man, or oh man,
I don't know. They just take, like, if somebody, the last video I did on them, it was just very obvious that they think people with dissociative identity disorder or autism or whatever are possessed by evil spirits. So it's just like, these people are.
They sound like reasonable people.
Yeah,
what
no
the fuck?
All right, let's see if I can get this. All right.
What the fuck is this?
Hey, go. Quiet down, I'm picking. Hey, go.
Dude, this guy needs to do a collab with that Katie Souza lady.
I know.
This might be the warlock she was talking about.
Yeah, it could be. Brick by brick.
Dude, was this like the first thing that popped up when you went to TikTok or something?
I don't. But look at this kid. His account has 21 million likes. That's
shit,
that's
dude.
twice as many as I have, and he's got a lot more followers than me too. But like,
oh my god,
every video.
What the Can you send me this guy's account? I need to follow him.
It's called Leo Janes 79. I don't know if you can see it on the screen share or not. But
yeah, I can see it.
yeah, Leo Janes. I mean,
Whatever I may be, I'm not another white-faced Jesus who never had to pick himself up out of the mud or wade his way through the...
I don't know, but I don't know how many videos he has, but none of them have very many views, but he just has so incredibly many. Oh wait, I can see his most popular.
Oh
Holy
my
crap.
god.
Wow. 16 million views, huh?
We got the ball. 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 Don't take away. We got the ball. We got the ball. We got the ball. We got the ball.
We got the ball. If he's doing this on purpose, he's the biggest genius who ever lived, but I don't think he's doing it on purpose.
Oh, you know Ron, right?
Well, not really, but you talk about
you know of
crazy
him
he
though?
is, yeah.
Dude, the other day, I kid you not, he posted like 156 times in under 24 hours. It was the most ridiculous thing I've ever seen in my life. It's Slayer of God or something like that. Slayer of Gods.
Slayer of Gods,
yep, top one.
6.9.3. Okay.
Yeah, if you just look at the dates, look at that first video. You should just set it up so everyone knows who this guy is, because that shit is ridiculous.
Okay, so let's use my trusty caulk right here.
Oh my god!
Let's use my trusty clock right here. I promise you it gets better.
He 100% said cock. Let's use my... I'm starting the video over.
Okay, so let's use my trusty caulk right here. We'll use counterclockwise and clockwise. So we're going to look north. Everything spins from east to west. When I rotate this caulk from east to west, in the north, we'll do a half turn. Boom, it rotates counterclockwise against the clock. When I go to the south, everything rotates from east to west, remember? Let's rotate this from the south, from east to west, and it rotates clockwise. Do you notice one thing about this surface? Is it's flat, buddy. It's flat. I just explained it on a flat surface.
I love how he has penguin
the
happy
stars
feet.
move from east to west. Whoa, 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 whoa. It's counterclockwise.
What is he trying to prove? that the
He was trying to explain the star rotations in the northern and southern hemisphere.
I sort
but he
of
just
got
rotated
that,
the clock the other direction.
Yeah. Like, what the fuck?
So, the stars move from east to west. Wah, 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 wah. Clockwise. This concrete is pretty flat, buddy.
So you'd have to imagine that it's doing this, but that can't work if it's flat. What a moron. Well, that was the end of the video, huh?
Oh my god. And he doesn't have many videos. It's all just a screenshot of like a definition, but it's gotten to a point where he posts it so many times you don't even see the definition anymore because there's just a bunch of different comments over it.
Yeah, that I am seeing.
Yeah, there it is.
Hey, quick question. And I feel stupid for asking, but when you're stirring up some shit, do you go clockwise or counterclockwise? Hey, quick question.
Damn it. If you homophobic, you a whack little. There's a big dick in my.
Okay, well,
you might not want to.
Yeah, this guy's obviously insane.
Grand day, everyone in TikTok land. It's time for some more nonsense for these nonsensible, teat baby, dishonest Globers. You said, well, maybe then go outside one day and learn more things other than nuh-uh. Look at you. I guess it's not a tree right behind me. I spend most of my days out here studying and
yeah, you're homeless.
Observing. My garden's right over there. Watch this.
Okay.
Wrong.
I'm not interested.
He gets government assistance as he brags about all the time.
Yeah. I was thinking about this the other day. I haven't heard from this person in years. I don't remember who they were. But who was the guy? He used to come into my live streams and I never talked to them. But he would come in and unprovoked just be like, run away, Peterson. Run away. Ha ha ha. Run away, Peterson. I was like, I don't even know who you are. What's his name?
Waterworld, I think.
Yeah, I remember that. And I think maybe I ended up talking to them once, but it's like, what are you doing coming up here telling me I'm running away when I've never talked to you before and you've never asked to talk to me before? I guess maybe it was rage bait, but
I'll try to find the account real quick, but he is ridiculous. Let me try to find it.
Jim Waterworld, somebody just said. I have no idea.
That might be it. I haven't seen him in a while, so he very well could have a different name now. Go click on like users, maybe.
Jim World, 1 follower. Oh, that's probably not it. I don't know. I mean, I don't care. I just thought it would be interesting. Did you see Mr. Lagoon did a face reveal?
Nah, dude, but that was definitely a Lagoon. I knew that from the start.
Yeah. Oh, geez, how many accounts does he have? Mr. Lagoon 4? Well, that has the most followers, so I feel like I commented on it. I don't know if anybody saw my comment, though. Yeah, well, it got 1 like, so yeah, Mr. Lagoon face reveal. All right.
Dude, he replied to you too. You're basically like famous by proxy.
Famous by proxy, yeah, transitive property.
That's how it works, you know. I've shook hands with my dad before, and well, when he was younger, he shook hands with Prince. So basically, I've met Prince.
Dude, I saw this fucking video where it shows like some famous dude like scratching his nuts, and then it shows all these videos of him shaking hands with somebody, shaking hands with somebody, shaking hands with somebody, and it ends on the Queen, and then it shows like she died right afterwards, or it shows her sniffing her hand then, and then it shows her fucking dead. I was like, oh man, that's fucking hilarious. Did you ever do you know about the German soccer coach who got caught on camera multiple times sniffing his fingers after like scratching his nuts?
I think I've seen clips. I don't know anything about him personally.
Dude, it's so funny. Yeah. Wow, I don't know how to pronounce his name. Here, let me switch the screen. This guy. Yeah, he got caught on camera a couple times Once was his armpits, and once he was
Dude, I gotta get a close-up look. Let me make that full screen real quick. Hold on. What the fuck?
How do you not understand that you're being filmed? But yeah, he did this twice. Once with his armpits, and then once he just reached right into his pants and started sniffing himself. Oh god, it's so funny.
Oh, I don't remember which state it was. Did you hear that there was somebody running for office in one of the states, and someone found that he had an account for some adult website?
Yeah.
And he was just like,
said he's a black Nazi and all that insane shit.
That was his fucking username.
Yeah, and it was tied to his email address. Yeah, it was tied to his email address and everything. And he made a statement where he's like, the media, they just want to spin narratives that aren't true about me. I've always been fighting for so on and so forth. Oh, Mr. Earth Guy's here. Okay, good, because I got to talk shit about Mr. No, I'm just kidding. I want to do the exact opposite of that. Do you follow his newer channel that he made?
Yeah, I have been talking to him about it a little bit. I've been trying to share the videos that he posts on there.
Yeah, so nobody's watching this podcast right now, but I'm gonna do that right now. I just gotta look it up. I gave him a follow. Yeah, Earth Explained. I don't know how he's making these animations, but they're fucking awesome. So,
I think he said that he's got a whole team that he's working with now to make these.
That's good.
Like actual animators and stuff.
Yeah, because I don't know how I wouldn't know how to do this by myself either. But maybe the secret to football success is his ball stench. Yeah, something like that. But it's
what do Westeros and Los Angeles
smelling salts?
Yeah, it's good. Like this, and it's not. It doesn't feel like a copy. It doesn't. It feels like Kurzgesagt and what's that other Amazing Animals from Outer Space? No, what the fuck's it called? It's a spin-off of Crash Course on YouTube. Amazing.
I have no idea.
It's Weird Wacky Animals or something like that. It's got the feeling of that, but it's not a knockoff of it. It's really good.
That would be the La Brea Tar Pits, a prehistoric graveyard preserving the remains of dire wolves, mammoths, and massive bears. These pits are a world-famous fossil site, where natural asphalt has preserved millions of animal bones and plants for over 50,000 years. But why are there so many well-preserved fossils in these pits? Natural asphalt, also known as tar, is a thick, sticky form of petroleum
what do you think about this?
I love it!
This is one of the most dangerous areas on the planet.
This is the first one I saw.
Home to boiling lava lakes, poisonous gases, and deadly acidic pools. It's called the Danakil Depression in northern Ethiopia, famous for its hot springs that release smelly odors and bright, colorful mineral formations.
So yeah, I think that's really cool. It's definitely made for TikTok. I don't know if Mr. Earth Guy, you'll have to tell us if these are on YouTube too. So yeah, this is really cool. Hopefully that makes people wanna, look at that Triceratops. The next Bill Nye or some shit.
It's definitely good.
Yeah, they look really good. I was thinking about something. We were talking about ball sniffing, and then I got distracted. But there was something I was gonna say. I'm sure it was completely unimportant.
Oh yeah, I remember. We were talking about how Andrew Tate is the biggest alpha that we know.
Dude.
Yeah, pretty much.
There was who's telling me this? Somebody on Discord. Oh, at his university or whatever. There was after
Hustlers University.
Yeah. No, after Diddy got arrested, there was a walkout and a bunch of students were saying free Diddy and stuff like that. And I was like, these are definitely Tate Glazers. Cause Diddy's going to jail. He's just absolutely gonna go to prison for probably decades. And he's just so incredibly guilty. I had this random thought the other day. Do you watch NFL at all?
Nah, I'm a beta. I only watch UFC fights and boxing and shit like that.
That makes sense. So do you actually not watch any NFL?
Yeah, no, I watched the Super Bowl and that's about it.
That's about it. Well, okay. Well, we'll still talk about this. So there was this player for the 49ers, and this happens every year. One of their best players doesn't report to training camp, and they'll sit out a couple games because they're like, no, I want you to give me $5 million more than what my contract says. And Peyton Manning does his own Monday Night Football thing, and that player was finally playing, but he dropped a pass, and Peyton's like, that's why you got to get the deal done, show up to training camp and practice. Because Peyton's thing is, the only thing I care about is winning games, and these other people are like, it's just about the money or whatever. Like, obviously they also like to win, but I thought that it was just, it's really weird because I understand like negotiating for your salary or whatever, but what they're doing is they're not saying give me what I'm worth. They're saying I'm going to compromise this team until you have no choice but to pay me more money. So I just find that to be like really off-putting. I wish somebody would just go out and say it.
Yeah, it's weird with when you have like team sports like that, because like I said, I only really watch like fighting, but those are, for the most part, individual sports outside of training. And that, like in an individual sport, I can see holding out to be a good way to renegotiate a contract, and it doesn't really affect anybody except you. But I don't know, yeah, again, in a team sport, it makes it a little bit more muddy, I guess.
Yeah, because like in MMA, if you're like, I'm not going to fight unless you're going to pay $10 million for the fight, and it's like, I mean, that doesn't really hurt anybody really, but yeah, with the team sport aspect of it, I don't know, I don't like it.
I think that here's my hot take: they should all make 100,000 a year, and that's it.
And that's it. Just cap it. Yeah, nobody's like Steph Curry. There's a bunch of guys in the NBA that are going to make $60 million this season. And it's like, nobody's worth that. I mean, they're just absolutely not. It's just that's what they can get away with or whatever. And like
it's like, I get they bring in the revenue, but at the same time, it's like, dude, you mean to tell me that a fucking basketball player is more valuable than a literal doctor?
Yeah, that's
what the hell.
That's exactly the point, because they're not, and like they're responsible for that income revenue, and so like it's not that they didn't earn it, it's just that you're not worth it, And it's the same thing like with like any billionaire or whatever. It's like, do they work really hard and stuff like that? It's like, yeah, some of them really do, but it's also they rig the process or the system in their own favor is the other thing. And like, you can't work 1 million hours a week, but how are you making 1 million times more than, a school teacher or a nurse or something like that? So it's not about how hard you work. That's the other thing.
Speaking of which, did you see, I didn't fact check it to see if it's true, but Elon Musk might be set to become the first trillionaire in the world?
Yeah, I've heard that. It would be like in the 2030s sometime, but yeah, I mean, that would just be like his net worth. Not very many of them have that much money because they know it'll get taxed. So this is a really weird thing that's been talked about a lot for years. Like they take a salary that's only like $100,000 a year or something like that, but they have like, shares and whatever else, properties or whatever. So they don't pay. That's why the tax system is so fucked up. You have to have things like capital gains tax and whatever else, because they avoid sales tax. Because what a rich person does is, if they want to buy a $200 million yacht, they get a loan from a bank and they put up their properties as collateral, and there's no tax paid on any of that. So it's like, okay, well, we could have built 20 elementary schools, but instead nobody gets anything because the tax revenue isn't there. So like, I don't know. It's so dumb.
mean, it's even the same thing at my work. Well, at least my current job, not the new one that I'm going to, but they're starting to take away like storage space that we had because they say that it's too expensive. But at the same time, they're sending us more shit than ever, so we're running out of space. And it's like, oh man, they just want stuff on the shelves. It's like they want to make sure they can afford their vacation on the beach this year because apparently the 86 million they already have isn't enough.
Yeah. Yeah, when a company says that we can't afford whatever while they're doing stock buybacks and while their bosses are getting raises, it's just insane. That's why the UAW auto workers strike, like they demanded a 40% raise and everybody was like, that's insane. And like, yeah, but this is how much of a raise the CEOs gave themselves over this period of time. So we're just asking for the same thing. And you can't argue against any of that. The only people that do are millionaire talking heads on TV who are paid by billionaires to say that. It's really weird how the government and the media has been turned into a way for rich people to make money because they spend exorbitant amounts of money lobbying and like controlling narratives, but that saves them money. Like Wells Fargo, this is a little bit different, but you know how Wells Fargo got in trouble years ago for like opening up all those fake checking accounts for people?
No, I didn't, but that's my current bank. So
yeah, it's mine too. I didn't want to. I had a local bank when I lived in South Dakota, and I couldn't take that with me to California because there weren't any Dakota banks in California. So I basically joined Wells Fargo because I didn't have time to do a lot of research. I was like, I know they have them in that town, so I'll just go with them, I guess. But yeah, they got in a shitload of trouble like last year or a couple of years ago. I don't remember exactly what they were doing, but the deal was they ended up having to pay like a couple $100 million fine, but they stole like billions of dollars. And so it's so obvious. They know exactly what the repercussions for what they are doing are, and they do it anyway because they know that the fine isn't as severe as the amount of money they make. And unless they start actually making those people go to jail, which they'll never do, then they're just going to keep doing shit like this. It's so crazy.
Well, me personally, I'm built different. So if you get me in office, I'll take care of him. Don't worry about it, okay? I got you. Peter Planetson.
Peter Peterson. Peter Pumpkin Eater.
What was Kent Hovind calling you the other day? He kept getting it wrong. What was it, like Parker? He was calling you Planet Parker or some shit.
No, there was one time. Yeah, what did he say? I only remember him doing it one time where he got my name wrong, but no, for the most part, he didn't really call me. He called me Eric most of the time, I think, but the way he used my name to say, on Planet Peterson, you can believe that a dog fucked a snail and that's where giraffes came from or whatever. That was actually pretty funny how he used my name to compare worldviews.
Yeah, if he wasn't so insufferable, I might be willing to give him credit for that, but I'm not gonna go that far.
He has said, like 3 times he's said something that was actually funny, but yeah, only 3.
One of my favorite parts was I don't know, again, was talking about like how computer code and a helicopter and like a dog are all the same thing somehow and blah, blah, blah. And then he said, basically, for lack of a better term, something again about like a dog fucking a snail and a monkey comes out. He like giggled to himself and the fucking host sat there dead face staring at the camera. And you just waited a second and you were like, was that supposed to be funny?
Yeah.
And then there was only like 4 people in the chat and they were like, that was funny. What are you talking about? You don't know what you're talking about.
People were telling me that the chat was like super on Kent's side. A couple people in Discord said they got banned, but one of them, he was saying some really dumb shit and I probably would have muted him too. But like, I don't know, like Spanky's gonna kill Kent or something. I don't remember what it was exactly, but
If you go in the comment section of the posted video, pretty much every comment is on your side, which is hilarious because I guess they
even
can't be banned.
Even on Standing for Truth's YouTube channel.
Yeah, I went to Standing for Truths and dude, hold on, I'll read a few, or if you want to, you can pull it up because it's all the top comments.
I'm gonna pull it up. Standing for Truth.
Is he a young Earth creationist? Is he just one of Kent's like lackeys, I guess, for lack of better terms?
Yeah, something like that. Oh, it's not on his live stream. Oh yeah, he just posted the video. All right. Pull it up here on the YouTubes for everybody. Peterson. Okay, I have genetics, the fossil record, all of paleontology and anthropology and archaeology and geology. Kent. I have the Bible and it says nuh-uh and I don't know. Yeah, the fact that he said I don't know so many times when I said that's what he would do in my opening statement. Oh, that was so satisfying. This was Kent's worst performance I've ever seen. Saying things like, I don't care about things like that. Yeah, he refused to. He won't. See, he's like a flat earther. The majority of them, all they do is just say the globe is fake. They don't say that evolution or that the earth, they don't really argue how the earth is flat or a way to say that the earth is flat. They just say the globe is fake and it's circular reasoning and whatever. And he was doing that tonight. He couldn't use his alternative explanation to do anything at all.
Or when he said an if-then statement is circular reasoning, you started cooking him for that. You're like, there's no way you actually believe that.
Yeah. Thank you, Pearson, for showing it. I wonder if the replies are, we admit we're dumb by ourselves, but God is all-powerful and all-knowing. Your dumbness has no God to rescue you.
Like, what the fuck? What kind of defense is that?
You can tell which of these two has taught actual science, and it's not Hovind. Oh, man. Eric, I'll predict Kent will not present any data. Kent proceeds to completely prove Eric correct. Ooh, that triggered some people. There's no empirical data.
Real mad.
There's no empirical data contrary to the narrative we read in the King James Bible. What? The King James Bible has defeated all of its. The King James Bible has defeated all of its detractors and opponents. What does that mean?
Even most Christians I've seen don't like the King James Bible because he took shit out that he didn't like.
Yeah, and there are some translation issues in there. I'm not reading any more of that. I'm not worried about.
You got called PP.
I have to say, PP had one of the best performances I've ever seen. Planet, I think somebody's called me Planet PP-son before.
Dude, oh, that's a good one. I'm gonna have to start using that.
Yeah, I think when people make fun of my name, it's funny. People try to do that to like get you to, I don't know, to like flounder during a debate. But like, if you make fun of my name and it's funny, I will laugh my ass off because it's funny.
You see, I personally don't have to worry about that because the people I deal with, meaning flat earthers, always read my name as Avenger Glober. I don't know how they even get that wrong. Like, there's not even an N in it.
Did anybody say anything bad about me?
No, I think these are probably all the people who were getting blocked out of the chat. They just went to the video itself.
Yeah. Oh, man. That makes me feel good about myself, I guess.
Yeah. Well, like I said when I was texting, Kent Hovind definitely doesn't need any assistance looking stupid, but you really solidified it.
Yeah, he got dog walked really badly in that. And we're going to do it again on October 2nd. I haven't written any of I should probably. What's really funny is for that debate, I wrote my opening statement and all of my questions like a month before the debate and then just didn't return to them at all. I did a tiny bit of tweaking a short while before it, but it's like I already knew exactly how to make him look like an idiot. Well, I don't know how I say this. I let him make himself look like an idiot, but I led him there.
You just gave him the path of least resistance.
Basically, yeah. Yeah, but our next
and your next one is geology, right?
Well, it's the geologic column, which is going to be like stratigraphy, looking at the layers, and I'm sure we'll talk about fossils a lot in it too. So I started writing a couple things down for it, but I haven't really developed it. But I'm going to do the exact same thing. Make him... I don't know. I might switch it up a tiny bit because I didn't really make him confront the evidence of evolution that much. I pretty much just made him admit that his worldview is complete bullshit and can't do anything. So this time I might try to make it more about seeing if I can get him to admit that the evidence we would predict in my worldview is what we see and came true. That would be fun too, and that won't be hard to do. Thank you, Steve.
Yeah, and I was gonna say you should talk with Mr. Earth Guy if you get a chance about it, because he's been doing like a bunch of different content lately, talking about like the zircon crystals and shit in Australia, how those are dated, and how they're some of like the oldest known things we can date on the planet.
Well,
he's got a lot of stuff on that. But then again, Kent Hovind, I don't know if he's even going to let you get there, because
I would try to avoid that in this, because it's really a different topic that deserves its own debate, and I'd be happy to do Age of the Earth with Kent, because that's not what we're doing here. And I've done several videos where I go over his debunking of the age of the Earth. And it's funny that he brought it up during our debate. I didn't say anything, but maybe I should have. But he said, oh, you need billions of years. And I debunk that in my video, but he doesn't. His debunk of the age of the Earth is, you can't get something from nothing. The Big Bang doesn't make any sense, and things don't get better on their own. Which all those things are required for an Earth to be created from a Big Bang. So whatever. It's like, you didn't address time at all in any of that. So
it's the same argument for every other topic,
basically.
Pretty much.
Do you think it's valid to dismantle the interlocutor rather than the arguments based on the fact that it's a cult of personality? I think it's valid to dismantle the interlocutor rather than the arguments based on the fact that it's a cult of personality. I think that's... So I wouldn't do that in a debate, because you're there to debate a topic, and that's not the topic of the debate. But I think that you should do that, like in like a separate video that you would make, like point out that this is this is what's going on, and this is why people are falling in line with any of that. Did Aaron Rod debate Hovind? Yeah, he did once, and it was kind of a shit show. And then they did these like back and forth video series. So instead of debating, each person would just do like their own 30, 40-minute video or whatever. And then they stopped doing stuff after that.
My favorite Aaron Rod debate, it wasn't even a debate, it was just dumb, was him versus Jesse Lee Peterson. Oh my fucking God, that was so stupid.
Have you ever seen an ape turn into a human? Have you ever seen a car turn into a Corvette? No, I asked you about the... he was too stupid to understand what was going on.
Stop dodging my question.
He whistles when he talks too. He's got
like Herbert the pervert.
Yeah,
like,
yeah, a little bit. Get your fat ass back here. All right. On a related note, if we had to restart civilization from scratch, what do you think the first and most important technology to develop would be? I think I know the correct answer.
I mean, you're going to have to be little more specific, I think, because like, would basic tools be considered there? Or are we talking about like stuff?
So
Because if that's the case, then yeah, I
let's
would say
imagine you could like
tool making.
let's imagine just like all of our like electricity like disappears and like our houses get like destroyed and like whatever. You could like go around and scavenge and like find hammers and something like that. But what would be the first like if you're gonna have a group of people like living, like you're gonna restart your own village, what's the first thing you think you need? I think I know the correct answer.
Well, this is coming from my many years of Minecraft and Civilization experience. You need a farm. That's my guess.
I don't agree.
What would you say?
You need some sort of, I guess I don't know what to call it, but you got to have toilets. You got to have a septic system or whatever. I think
it's just hole in the ground. What do you mean?
Yeah, but that leaches into the groundwater and it just causes like disease and shit like that, literally shit like that. So I feel like that's the thing in terms of like big scale, like we have to do this first. I feel like that's number one. I honestly do. Because if you start growing all the food, then all of a sudden there's going to be a lot of you and you're going to have way more waste than you can handle and you don't have the system in place. It's called sanitation. Well, yeah, but I mean, that could mean a lot of things, but we'll take that. You need...
I don't know. I feel like that might be an afterthought though. It's like one of those things where you deal with it when you run into it. Because I mean, for a while at least, I feel like just some holes in the ground would be good. Or, just like an outhouse with an even bigger hole in the ground.
Yeah, I mean, you can think that, but you'd be wrong.
Okay, well, you know what? I don't listen to Beta's opinions anyway, so
Yeah, me neither.
I mean, I could see it. I don't know. It's hard to say. It depends, okay? Is this a group of like is this going to be like Nathan Thompson, Gas Pressure, Drano, and like Angel? Like are they the ones that we're talking about? Or are we talking about a group of competent human beings?
Average human beings.
Okay, all right. Well, then you might be right. Okay, the smooth brains, they might take it as an opportunity to just start a government and rule over themselves but have nothing.
Yeah, I guess. Yeah, I don't know. I just think cuz like you can dig holes in the ground or whatever, but eventually you're going to run out of places where you can dig eventually, yeah, you're going to run out of places where you can dig holes because there's too many people. And then it's like, we either have to pack up everything and move to a new spot so we can dig poo-poo holes, or the new rule is going to be you may only go to the bathroom 3 miles away from our camp, And it's just, I don't know. I don't know. Septic system.
I mean, I'm no botanist, but like, would it be anything like The Martian, or is it just Martian? I think it's The Martian. I don't know.
Poop in the ground and grow your food.
Yeah, you're just like, and I'll just put a fucking potato in the doo doo.
Yeah, I just think, I don't know. I just think the germs are too, because like, here's the other thing you have to think of. Like, we don't, like, people don't die of infectious diseases at nearly the rate they used to. But that's not because the humans change. It's because we have the technology. And since we don't have that technology for dealing with that, you are going to, if you're just walking around barefoot and you step on a piece of ground that has some like poop bacteria, like you don't even have to step in a turd. You just have to step in something that's been contaminated, and you have a cut in your foot, you're going to fucking die, So I just feel like that's like the most important thing to take. All poo-poo times are pee-pee times, but not all pee-pee times are poo-poo times.
Yeah, then, oh no, it's Andy said Paris ran out of holes. It nearly killed them all. Okay, using the French is not fair. They surrender to anything. So true. A couple holes in the ground is not a good example there.
Very true. Very true.
You just shit right on the crops, man.
just shit on the potatoes. But we don't have a way to wash our potatoes. So you're just gonna see it's bad. It's bad all around.
You use the poo water after you boil it, if it rains where you are. So we're looking back at Jacksepticeye and Nick Tucker, I see.
Yeah. We could test this out. We could like do a Mr. Beast style video where you and I would just have to go live in the wilderness for 1 month. And it's like, all right, well, what are we gonna do first?
I don't think my experience lines up with that. I'm gonna go out there and be punching a tree and be like, I'm not getting anything. What is happening?
Why is this not making sticks and wood? And why is the wood not... How come if I punch a log, it doesn't turn into planks of wood? I don't understand.
I mean, here's the thing, though, okay? If we're going into this, like, post-apocalyptic world where we can scavenge the tools and all that, could we not just go to, like, a Home Depot or a Lowe's and use the display units? I feel like that'd be a possibility.
Have you seen that Jackass video where he just goes and takes a shit in a toilet that's just sitting on the showroom floor?
Yeah, I think that's why we have them all up on the wall, just so nobody can fucking come in and prank us.
The thing that's so weird about that is the employees are just laughing about it. Like,
yeah, I wouldn't stop them. I'm not fucking touching them.
I wouldn't try to stop him, but I would either be really mad or I would just get as far away from it as possible. But they were just like laughing. I thought that was pretty weird. You ever listen to Steve-O's podcast where he talks about like all the like 3rd-degree burns and shit that he got?
Yeah, I've seen a lot of clips from it, or like the one where he tells the story about falling off of like a balcony and breaking his face open.
No, I haven't yet. I've never watched it, but I've seen clips, like you. But yeah, that's about it.
Someone said human poop is rumored to be one of the most dangerous poops. Oh, we should find out.
Interesting. My dad has this really weird thing where he thinks raccoon shit is more dangerous than like cobalt 40. Nobody's going to know what I mean by that. Cobalt 40 is like so radioactive. I read a book once that said if there was like 1 microgram of cobalt 40 per square kilometer on the planet, it would kill all life on the planet. I was like, fucking hey, cobalt 40 is... That shit is fucking dangerous. But yeah, he just specifically thinks raccoon shit is the worst kind of shit. It's an odd thing. I don't know. He lives out in the country all by himself. He needs to have like a dog or something. I don't know. When he calls me, it's so funny. When he calls me, it's just about him every single time. Because he's retired, and he lives out on a farm just by himself, so he doesn't have anybody to talk to really, which would be kind of sucky. But it's just so funny because, like, when I called him to tell him that I got engaged, he said, oh, and then he spent the next 20 minutes telling me the story about how he killed a skunk and walked down to the mailbox. I was like, Dad, I'm getting married. Oh, yeah. I
can tell he was proud of you. I mean, why else would he share that story? It's very romantic. I can see, where the morals might cross over, and killing a skunk and getting married. Basically the same thing if you really don't think about it that much.
Yeah, if you don't think about it at all, it makes perfect sense. Or like Kent said, if you have a brain cell, then it would be funny. Yes, Kent, if you had one, then it would be funny. More than one.
Yeah, emphasis on so a brain cell. Yeah. Just singular, not plural.
How many views does Donnie's video have? 8,000? That's pretty good. That's really not bad.
Yeah, he wasn't a bad moderator for sure. That's always what I enjoy, even when you go on a channel where it's clearly biased towards one side, but the moderator doesn't try to jump all over everyone.
Yeah, he didn't really need to do much because I said these are going to be the rules for the debate. With the cross-examination and all that. So
why is the thumbnail Nutter Butters? Did you do that after you saw the fucking TikTok page?
Yeah, I covered Nutter Butter and Long Furby. You ever watch Long Furby videos? I think I've sent some to you.
Maybe. I'm sorry for interrupting. That just kind of caught me off guard.
No, don't worry about it. Yeah, I was just gonna say that.
What the fuck? Yeah, I have seen
Long Furby. Yeah, they're so. I did a whole bunch of them on my. I gotta be careful because they play a lot of music that gets copyrighted or whatever. But yeah, I can't play that.
You just gotta start singing over it.
Nope, can't play that. That video I made that I put on YouTube, I had to take it down like 4 times because it kept being like, nope, there's this 10-second clip where you played a song, and so you're not gonna get monetization. I was like, oh, you fucking assholes. It was so. They boil babies in a lot of the videos. No, stop.
Copyright.
People were the comments are really funny because people will be like, oh, and I thought my therapist and I wouldn't have anything to talk about this week. Oh yeah, I saw this one the other day. The ones where there's like this pink monkey face. Those ones are the funniest.
What the fuck? Did How To Basic get a new channel? What the fuck is this?
It's just such a gold mine.
What the fuck?
Yeah, this part right here.
It's a kinetic sand.
What is that thing?
This is terrifying.
I know.
Oh my god. Dude.
Yeah.
You saw what that was they were shaking, right?
Oh, I didn't. I wasn't looking at the very end.
Dude, it was a wiener plushie, and then the fucking babies popped out. Yeah, right before that.
No.
What the hell?
But yeah, all I was saying earlier before you interrupted me was that Donnie did a good job, but he didn't really have to do anything. In fact, he only really intervened twice, and it was when I was telling the story about how Hovind let a child molester into his park, but the only other time he did it was Kent was not talking about the topic of the debate, and Donnie's like, well, let's stick to common descent evolution, so on and so forth. So good on him.
Yeah, I had a similar experience with Jaren when I went on his channel with, what was it, Globey and Blitz.
Yeah.
And surprisingly, Jaren wasn't really biased at all. I mean, he was a little bit, but he kept it, pretty, well, what's the word I'm looking for? Civil, I guess.
Yeah. You know what? We're going to shut this down in a couple minutes, but let's I'm just going to go to a random part in this debate and see if it's interesting at all.
Do you not understand relative motion?
You get blown by wind?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure he doesn't understand relative motion.
That's fine. Galilean relativity is hard, and I understand that. Look, do you think that the air... Do you think that on our model, the Earth is rotating at 1,000 miles at once per day, and then the air is not moving at all? Is that what you think is happening on our...
They're doing the... Wow, if they're still on this... The part I watched, they were like, the helicopter, if it's hovering, the Earth has to spin under it. Like, they were on that. And it's like, if you're...
It's the same topic.
If you're...
Has to be.
Hey, what happens... Oh, I'm sorry. To go for it, Corey,
Actually, if you want to talk about the air...
I'm asking what you think happens on our model.
Oh, my bad.
Because otherwise you're just straw man. Otherwise you're straw manning, right? On our model, you have the ground, the Earth, the globe, which is spinning once per day. At the equator, that's around 1,000 miles an hour. And the air.
What are they laughing about?
Moves with the ground.
Oh my God!
Due to something called the there's a word for it. It's an interface effect, I think. I think that's what it's called. But essentially, the ground provides friction for the air and drags it along. That's how it works on our model. So if you're going to propose something else, it's a straw man.
May I explain?
Wait a minute.
Explain something really quick?
Okay, go ahead.
Listen, the reason we know that the Earth is not moving and airflow proves this is because wind can go in multiple directions, multiple different directions at multiple different.
Yep. So
this is ridiculous already.
Can you walk around while flying in a plane? Can you walk forward, backward, left, right? Yep. So that, and they don't understand what Blitz is saying. Blitz isn't asking them to accept the globe. He's saying, this is what, if you believe in the globe model, we believe. So if you try to say if you try to frame it otherwise, you're straw manning our position. And it completely went over their head. Peterson, do you like Leo Filius? I've only ever heard him do a couple of discussions. One was with Darth, and I think he did a really good job. I think he's a communist. He did a debate on like socialism versus capitalism, I think. So like, I'm not a socialist or a communist, so I don't know if we would agree on anything when it comes to that.
Speeds.
Yeah, you're just a beta. That's all I classify you as.
Yeah.
The Earth spinning.
Relative
because
to the ground,
if the Earth was spinning, there would be some type of observation that we could see, like trees would be blowing. For example, people
That's
could jump
nonsense.
up.
Man, these guys are really fucking
There's no
stupid.
way.
I'm going to skip ahead a little bit.
That's the thing.
I don't even know these guys.
No, me neither.
To clarify for the big picture is just that it sounds like you guys would say yes. Like if there is evidence of rotation, that is a challenge. It's a bigger challenge for our view. Than the globe view.
Agreed.
Okay.
Like if there was like 1,000-mile-an-hour wind, yeah, we would be like, wow, there's some sort of
straw man in
reason
answering the question. This
No,
isn't
I
that hard.
answered it.
Okay, I think you said
I
yes,
just answered
despite
it.
bringing up
Yes,
the wind.
it-
Matthew,
Angles.
do you see the diagram?
I can kind of see it. It's kind of small because
Oh
I'm using my
no,
phone.
they're
It's a little
misunderstanding. They're misunderstanding celestial navigation.
Then last
This
time.
is such a tired topic.
Can make it
There it
larger.
is. Perfect.
This shows that if something is moving away as you're describing, like with the plane or like with a Robothmist sun, it should
you don't have
follow an
to follow
arctangent function. There is no way to argue this. This is pure trigonometry, pure math, and it is very simple. It is some of the simplest trigonometry that you can do. There is no way to argue. If something is moving away according to perspective, then its elevation above eye level will follow an arctangent function. That's how perspective works. That's why there's such a thing as a vanishing point. That's how it works.
But you're not taking into account distortions in perspective due to our dome of perspective.
It's always the answer.
How we
Due to
observe
what?
light.
Due
On
to
linear
what?
diagrams, watch. There is such thing as perspective. You're touching on reality. You have one diagram also that looks like a dome shape that you're not showing right now, but you have to take that into account how perspective
I made this
works.
diagram. I don't know what dome diagram you're talking about.
You have to understand like how we perceive light, how any lens or eye will receive light, how it comes
Matthew,
straight to us.
I have a question.
Yes.
So this
Yes.
is right. Sorry, Takori.
Oh, it is Takori, not Takori.
Okay. So perspective has been well known
That's
since
not nearly as
I guess
fun.
the mid 1600s or so with the Renaissance when they kind of figured out how to draw in perspective, right? It's like pretty well understood, right? Like I'm sure that we agree on like that the mathematics of perspective is pretty well understood.
We might disagree on specifics, but more or less perspective exists.
Yeah, and we understand how to like draw accurately using perspective. Really, perspective is so down to earth, so well studied that I should be able to find anything I want to learn about perspective in a textbook, right? So can I find this dome of vision in a textbook?
Well, it's actually incorrect. It's kind of hard to find, like because I'm compiling images for a book. I'm compiling.
Yeah, I didn't speak in a minute.
He's talking about the
it's not very
Walter
interesting.
Bisland's flat Earth dome model, which is ridiculous. I don't know why flat earthers use that. And speaking of which, flat earther actually stole the source code from Walter Bisland's, posted it on their own website, but left out all the disclaimers saying that he had to use the globe mathematics and models to actually get accurate predictions.
Go figure.
And they're claiming that they made it, and it's like, oh my fucking god.
Is that the model where it shows the light from the stars bending, like, in order to make it so if you're standing in the southern hemisphere,
Yeah.
you see? Yeah, I remember
It literally makes the light do a full 180 before it comes down and reaches your eye. It's ridiculous.
And I remember people Nitwit crying about that because he didn't even use the actual constellations. He just put random stars on it. It's like, that doesn't matter, but okay, here. Now we have one with the actual constellations. Oh, he admitted it. Morons.
Yeah, I find it just ridiculous that the only person to make a flat Earth model that would work, granted, if physics were entirely different, but the only way or person who's done it is a glober. It's not even a person who thinks the Earth is fucking flat. That makes no sense, especially when a flat Earth should be the easiest thing to model. It's flat. Draw a fucking circle. The scale should work fine. What's the problem?
Yeah. Steve Peterson, Professor Dave, Simon, Dan Creaky. I don't know who Creaky is. Should have a massive debate. No, that would be absolute cancer. It would be like monkeys at a zoo. But you know what? You know what they should do? Fucking, what are they called? Jubilee or whatever. They did a flat Earth thing one time. They should just do that again, where either you have a panel and one person comes in, or you have 3 and 3 and they take turns one at a time or whatever. You can't, even 2 versus 2 is unbearable for me whenever I watch those debates. And it doesn't matter what the topic even is. It's just, the flow is so bad.
Yeah, I feel like you really have to have the right people for it. I don't know what their names are. You might know them, but they're like the atheist guys who let people call in and debate them.
Yeah.
I don't know their names, like I said, but they have really good flow. They go back and forth really well. But I don't know, with a lot of people, especially on TikTok, I find myself getting annoyed when I'm in those lives with 6 people because everyone just talks over each other and we get nowhere.
Yeah, I think those work. That's the atheist experience on the line. I think those work because it's 2 versus 1. But once you get 2 and 2, then it just starts being there's basically 2 conversations going on at the same time all the time. And I just don't like them. All right, we're gonna.
Yeah, and especially when you get flat earthers and shit, it jumps. Sorry, it sounded like you're about to end it.
Yeah, we're gonna end it there. I gotta eat, and then we got our TikTok stream that we gotta do, and then some guy wanted to do an interview with me because he thinks I'm wrong about everything on the Galileo affair. Still.
Oh well, yeah, because you're a beta, so rightfully so. He thinks you're wrong, and that's what I gotta stick to.
And then I gotta go to a quinceañera. So.